it's an art, really. I mean, you really have to consider these things. We didn't even talk about concatenating and minifying your scripts and gzipping them. It can dramatically affect the user perception and overall experience, and a lot depends on what you're trying to achieve, right? So, let me show you this little example here. I'm going to pop it out of the full screen mode for a sec so that I can clear my cache. I want you to look for 3 boxes. They're like big blocks, right? One will be green, one will be red, one will be yellow. Okay. Just yesterday, it held on to that red one so much longer. I'm going to try this one more time. So watch again. Okay, there we go. You see that? See the difference? I mean, it's pretty dramatic, right? Did you see the green one at all? No, you didn't. No, the green one you didn't see because that was hidden using that technique of CSS and the JS class on the HTML element. Okay, if you use Modernizer, it does that for you. So put Modernizer in the head. It's awesome. And the yellow one was using document ready, and the red one was using window on load, right? And so this is how many milliseconds? 983 after the from head to ready. So it's almost a second, and it was 3.5 seconds to window load because I put a bunch of big images on there. All right. Yeah. Any questions about that? No. All righty. Back to the slides. Okay. Selectors and traversals. Traversal. At the heart of jQuery, right? Find something, do something. We're going to talk about find something now. Okay. For the CSS people here, check this out. This thing keeps I feel like I'm on a ship or something. It's like, okay, look at that. Here's your CSS selector. Here's your jQuery equivalent. Notice the difference? The only difference is that with jQuery, where the selector is a string, so we have to put it in quotes, and it's an argument of this dollar function. So we have to put the dollar and the parens around it, and that's it. So the moral of the story is use what you know. Use, the people who are good at CSS, you have a huge advantage here. You can get anything you want, right? By just using this CSS selectors that you've known and loved for years. Make sense? Are you familiar with all these? Is everybody familiar with these? Any of them that look odd? No? Okay, cool. How about these? Those all make sense? Any of them that look odd?
What can you just explain? Sorry, pre-vol.
Yeah, sure. So what this does is, okay. So the prev plus selector. Pre-vol. That's kind of a weird way of saying it. Okay, so the first one, the plus combinator. This is a CSS selector, right? It's not used very much because we're all still stuck in some way, even if it's just emotionally, in IE6 land, right? Where we think, I can't use that because IE6, IE7, maybe, they're not gonna, they don't support this selector, right? So what this does is prev is the previous element, and selector is the one that's actually selected. That's the next adjacent sibling. Okay? So if you have two LIs, right, and you used LI plus LI, it would give you the second one, right? If you had 3 it would give you the second and third, because the second and third both have one that immediately precedes them. Yeah, because it's like saying, okay, so the next element that matches this selector, the very next one, and the tilde is like if I had a div and then a paragraph and then a div and a div and a div, and they were all siblings of each other, right? And I said paragraph p tilde div, that would give me all the divs that follow that paragraph that come after. So it wouldn't be the one before it, but it would be all the ones that come after it. Okay? Not checked, disabled. Checked is a really weird one in CSS. Well, I'm not even going to get into that right now. Okay, attribute selectors. You know about attribute selectors? This is nice. And if any of you are familiar with regular expressions, this is kind of like regular expression-like syntax. So you know you have a leg up here. I mean, although there's weird stuff like the tilde equals that isn't really a match. But anyway, you can say that some attribute equals this value. So like href equals this value, or doesn't equal this value, and the bang equals, that is not a CSS selector. That's a custom jQuery selector that we threw in there. And it's come back to haunt us. Yeah, begins with, ends with, is anywhere there. The attribute has a value as one of its space-separated values. So like if you have like a rel or a class or something like that, and you wanted to say, is one of the rels no follow? You know, I don't want to get the one that says, I don't want to get it if it just says me no follow likey or something, you know. It has to be no follow, you know. So it can't be anywhere in the string, in the attribute. It has to be that word, right? So those can be really handy. And then we have some custom form selectors. Let's not even look at these. Custom miscellaneous selectors, okay. You can get a list of all of these selectors on the API site, category/selectors, and you'll see all of them, and you can read all about them and love them.